What is happening with Todd Gurley here in Los Angeles? You are obviously somebody who knows how to run a ball and also be a multiple threat out of the backfield at a high level for a championship caliber team, and also know what it's like to fight through injury.
Yes.
We had Sean McVay in that chair, what was it, about a month ago, right, Chris? I'm like,
yeah, give or take.
He said he wasn't hurt last year. I mean, he wasn't hurt. He might have been injured. He didn't say anything, but he didn't say like that his knee was hurt to the point where he wasn't functional as he was for the first 15 weeks of the season. This was 6 weeks ago is what it was?
6 weeks, mid-April.
Yeah.
And he also said yesterday, even though he's not doing anything at the OTAs, he's under a great plan, is what Sean McVay said.
Yeah.
You look at this and think what?
Well, I think there's definitely obviously something there. I've heard reports about arthritis, and, you know, listen, every football player has arthritis. I don't care what position you play, everybody has arthritis. Even coaches got arthritis. So to me, that's a non-issue because everybody has to play through that. Everybody deals with that. I had microfracture surgery after my 3rd year, and writers were saying, oh, he probably has another 2 or 3 years left. I ended up playing another 7 years. So I ended up playing 11 years. So to me, it's all about Todd Gurley's pain tolerance, you know, what he can take. And I think one of the best things they did last year was finding C.J. Anderson because they found a complement to him. And I think maybe that can be the plan going forward because ultimately you want to have Todd Gurley healthy in the postseason, right? Like during the regular season, okay, you want to win games. I get that. They got a great offense. They got good weapons. So they can still win games without having to feed him 25, 30 times a game, right? You can still get a lot of production out of Todd Gurley, maybe 15 times a game, you know, touching the football. And that's running the football, catching the football. And that was kind of like, that was my plan when I was in New Orleans, right? And so I think he'll be fine. It's just a matter of his pain tolerance, what he can take. But he has had a lot of carries, too.
Is it possible that what you're describing can happen in such an intense way that one game it would affect you, another game it might not because it's not as intense?
Yeah.
Would that be the way to see and explain how he could dominate Dallas as he did in the divisional game and then in the NFC Championship game in the Super Bowl be a non-factor?
Yeah, I think so. And I think maybe just kind of flared up on him, whatever was happening with his knee. You know, he got a lot of touches in that game. He probably got banged up. You know, when I played with Calvin in Detroit, Calvin was banged up all the time.
Calvin Johnson.
Yeah, he was banged up. And so he would have to miss practice all week, you know. But still, imagine that, missing practice all week for most of the season and still going out and putting up those kinds of numbers, you know. And I think that could be a great plan for Todd Gurley, you know, keeping him on a pitch count during the week of practice because ultimately he knows how to run the football. He knows how to run the inside zone. He knows how to run the screen. And so really it's just how do we keep him as fresh as possible, you know, throughout the season and so that we do have him in the postseason because they're going to be right back in the postseason again. You know, they got the weapons, they got the team. So they got a good coach.
Are you concerned about Gurley? Like what would be your level of concern here?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd say maybe 5. You know, maybe a 5. Just because I would be concerned as to, you know, what the plan is from the doctors and from the team, you know, physicians. Just, you know, what are they doing to keep him healthy? You know, how are they making sure that he's always at his best on Sundays because that's where you need him. You don't need him getting banged up in training camp, preseason games, you know. So for me, after I had my microfracture surgery, I never really played in a preseason game. You know, maybe one a year for a handful of plays, and that was it.
Would arthritis be make sense with the fact that they're being so secretive as well? I mean, it's because nobody's ever really come out and said
it's so secretive over there.
We've been having a little bit of fun, even though obviously it's not a laughing matter.
Yeah.
But just like, what will we find out first? Why Malcolm Butler didn't play for the Patriots in that loss to the Eagles,
crazy.
Or why Marshawn Lynch didn't get the football on the 1 yard line, or why Todd Gurley in the Super Bowl would just be standing there.
Yeah. I mean, clearly, listen, if he's healthy, you know he's going to play. Right. And so obviously he was not healthy. So you can't negate that fact, right? You can't dispute that. And so obviously there was something that was flared up, whether it was, I heard it was a bone bruise. Now I have had to play with bone bruises before. That is painful. And there's nothing you can do to speed up healing a bone bruise. You can use all the ice and stem, hyperbaric and all this, oxygen training. It does not matter. A bone bruise is going to heal over time when it's ready. There's nothing you can do to speed it up.
For more of The Rich Eisen Show, tune to Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV for free on BR Live or download the Rich Eisen Show app.